Hey, if you're creating web page landing pages with a platform called LeadPages, one of the things that I find a lot of people leave out or aren't sure how to do is how to add the Google Analytics tracking code to your pages. Now, why do you want Google Analytics? Well, you need to track the activity on your site. You need to track what pages people are coming to and what actions they're taking on that page. With Google Analytics, you can track all of that stuff, and it's completely free, so why not? So in this video, we're going to cover how to install Google Analytics. I'm going to show you two ways. One, by just using your tracking ID and adding it in the settings, and the other is using a platform called Google Tag Manager, which lets you control a little bit more stuff. It's also, I find, a little bit easier to implement. So we're going to go over both of those in this video using an on-screen demo. We're going to get into that right now. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Lowell Brown. I run a digital marketing agency in Toronto called Going Social, where we take the complicated out of social and digital marketing and make it a little more easy and simple for you. One of the things that I do a lot with my clients is help them with their marketing, and that sometimes has to do with building landing pages for some of the promotions and ads that we're doing, oftentimes with Google and Instagram ads. So when we're using ads to drive traffic to a landing page to collect leads or get people to buy something, it's really important to be able to measure the performance of that advertising and of the whole digital marketing flow that we've got going on. Well, if you're not adding tracking information like Facebook pixel data, and if you want more info on that, click the link right above here to watch a video where I show you how to install a Meta Pixel, the Facebook pixel, to your LeadPages landing pages. But in this video, I'm going to show you go through the same similar exercises, but for Google Analytics, because Google Analytics will take you beyond Facebook. It'll take you, it'll help you track more of the data and traffic that's coming to your website to identify what area of the world they're coming from. Some demographic information, what pages they go through. So if they go from one page to another page to another page, you can track all of that. You can track conversions. So it really collects a lot of information and helps you identify if you're reaching the right markets, what activity your users are taking. And it also helps you measure how well your other advertising is doing. If you want to see how Google Ads is doing in terms of performance of driving traffic to your website, and you want to track your social media, and you want to track all these other things that are going on, you really need to leverage Google Analytics. So let's get into it right now. We're going to go into screen sharing mode, and I'm going to show you a demo from one of my client sites, and we're going to add the code to that. Let's get into it right now. All right, so what you're looking at right now is a landing page that I created for one of my clients. Now, this is the final page in a process. So this isn't actually the landing page. This is the thank you page that people get to after they have submitted a lead on our landing page. Everything's the same. I just want to show you in LeadPages, the way that you add your tracking code is in settings. So once you've got your page open, you click on settings, and you're going to find a couple tabs here. Now, the first one you might see is SEO, and that's where you can change the page title and the description that you want to use, and even some keywords that you want to use there. I don't have it filled out because this is a thank you page. We don't want search engines tracking it, but I just wanted to show you that this is also important, that you add this to the main landing page on your site. For social, if when someone is sharing the link, if they happen to, and you want to control what the URL looks like, what the title and the description look like, or if there's a preview image, that's where you would adjust it on this tab right here. What we want and what we're mostly interested in is this analytics tab. So right away at the top, you can see that there is this Google Analytics 4 measurement ID. Now, at the time of recording this video, we're about 1 month away from when the old Google Analytics, which was main, was called the main Google Analytics. That's their legacy, and it's actually going to be turned off within a month from the recording of this video. On July, I believe it's sometime in July 2023, the old legacy Google Analytics will be turned off. So if you don't yet have Google Analytics 4 set up, I strongly urge you to do it now. You need to start collecting that data from your audience. So that's where this tab now is at the top. You want to get your Google Analytics 4 measurement ID, and you could simply Add that in here. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second, and you could be done, right? That's the basic level of adding tracking code to a LeadPages landing pages. All you would do is enter it in there and click save up here, and then click publish on your page, and you'd be done. So we are going to go through that, and I will show you how to find this measurement ID on your account, and I'm going to show you how we add it in here in a second. But I also want to show you a different way of doing this with Google Tag Manager, and we're going to get to that in a second further in this video as well. Either way is fine. I prefer Google Tag Manager because Google Tag Manager allows you to set up other ways or other tags so that you can track specific actions and collect some additional information for your Google Analytics. But for the basics of this, we're just gonna go through the top of everything right here. So let's quickly jump into Google Analytics. And if we jump there, I'm gonna take you back. So this is one of my, a different client's account that we're looking at here. And this is just showing some very basic data. It's a small real estate company, so they've just started to get some traffic to their website. And where, I showed you on your lead page here, on your thank you page, that we need this measurement ID. Well, where do we find that? This is the new Google Analytics interface. It is a little bit different, so things are not where they used to be. You might be looking here and saying, hey, where are all of the things that I need? All you have to do is click here on the bottom. There's a little gear icon, and that is where you can find your admin settings. This will open up into two tabs. And again, if you're not sure whether you have GA4 or the older GA, Google Analytics, the older Google Analytics used to have 3 columns. So this is one of the ways you can tell if you're with Google Analytics 4, the new GA4, or with the old Google Analytics. I know it's confusing, but 2 columns, that's the interface that you want to see. So now that we're here, once you have your account set up and you go into account settings, you will see that there, and then you should see this list on the right here. So once you're in your settings and you see this 2 column, where you find that measurement ID is in this column. And if you're clicking around, you might go through and you see this and you think, okay, well, property settings, that's my property ID, that might be it. No, that's not the right code. What you want to do is go to data streams, and you would have set this up when you set up your account. A data stream is basically telling Google Analytics where are you getting data from, and you would have set one up for your website. So in this case, we have this one set up. All you do is you click here. It's going to open up the information about your stream or your measurement ID, and that's right here. So you want to copy that by just clicking that icon. We can go back to our LeadPages landing page, and we can paste that in right at the top. That's all you need to do. Then remember, you got to click save, and once that's done, you got to click publish. And in this case, it's just asking us, because we just created this page, what we want the URL to be. So you can customize your URL, and now it's published, and that's it. So that's the very basics, is just to get that measurement ID. But what if you want to go a step beyond that and you want to use Google Tag Manager? I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So let's jump here to Google Tag Manager. Once you're in Google Tag Manager, and again, the URL is just do a Google search for Google Tag Manager and you'll find it. You can create your account, and I'm just going to create a new dummy account just to show you how we do this. So I'm going to say test account, delete later. That's just so I know to delete it. I'm in Canada, so I'm going to say Canada. Okay, so we've entered in our country. I don't mind sharing my data anonymously with Google, so I'm going to enter that in. Container name, and this is just to give your site a name, so that when you're looking at it in Google Tag Manager, you know what it is. So let's say Tag Manager Test, and then what type of platform are we using? And in this case, yes, I am building it for a website, so we're going to click that and then click create. And then you'll see all the terms. You can read through this if you want to. I've done this a bunch of times, so I've read through it and I'm fine with the terms. So you must click that at the bottom, click yes, and you're done. You basically created your account for Google Tag Manager. Now the next step is we have to add this code to our LeadPages landing page. That's not the final step, so you gotta keep watching. So what we're gonna do here is it's telling us to add code to the head area and to the body area. The reason why you're adding this code is it's basically allowing Tag Manager to have access to your page to embed additional code within that page in the head area. And we're going to, in the next step, add our Google Analytics there. So we're not completely done yet. So the first thing we want to do is click copy. So that's going to copy this part. And again, we got to go add it to the head area. We go back to LeadPages, and that's where this is right here. This is the head section code. So we put that in there. We're done. That was that easy. Then this one, paste this code immediately after the opening body tag. So we want to copy this. We want to go back to LeadPages immediately after the opening body tag. That's where we put that. And again, we're done here. That's all we have to do. We add this tracking code once. It gives Google Tag Manager permission to embed other tracking code. And from here on in, instead of, if I wanted to add, let's say, Google Ads tracking code, Facebook Meta Pixel tracking code, LinkedIn Pixel tracking code, or any other type of thing that I want to do to this landing page, I can now do that within Tag Manager instead of having to come back here and do it in LeadPages itself. So that's why I'm using Tag Manager, because I want to be able to control and adjust specifics for other tracking tools within Google Tag Manager. But again, once we've got this code embedded here, all we have to do is click save up there. And again, click update over here, and we're done. From there on out, once this is saved, we don't have to come back to this landing page to add additional tracking code. From now on, we do it right within Tag Manager. So how exactly do we now add the GA4 tracking code within Google Tag Manager? How do we add that in here so that it is now accessible on our page? I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so now it's the process of adding or creating a tag. So you have to create a tag, and the tag is like the code, and then a trigger when it should be fired. So Tag Manager is all built around actions and activities. So the first thing we want to do is, when you see this screen, is you want to come into tags, and then we're going to create a new tag. And first thing you want to do is you want to name the tag. And this way, if you ever have to come back and you have to adjust it, you want to know what it was. So we're going to call this GA4. So we know that it's for Google Analytics tracking code. And then we have to create our tag configuration. You can click anywhere here, or you can click this pencil icon, and that'll open up. And right away, you see at the top, it says GA4 configuration, GA4 event. We need to do the configuration, okay? And then right away under here, it's asking us what's our measurement ID. So we can go back to Google Analytics, get our measurement ID, copy that, go into Tag Manager, paste it here, send page events, and that's all we have to do for this part. Under advanced settings, I would advise you to do this once per page. You want to change that. So basically what you're saying is fire the Google Analytics tag once per page. You don't want to get repeat visits for this if someone's loading this page. So once per page is fine. Leave everything else as is for now until you get into some more advanced stuff. You can come back and adjust that here. And the next thing we have to add is a trigger. When do we want this to fire? So we want this to go on all pages, and that's it. You're done. Click save up here, and now your tag is saved. And you're not done yet. So you need to make sure that you first create your tag, create your trigger, which was already set for this. So we know that the name is here. It's the type of Google Analytics. It's firing on all pages. Now we've created that, but it's not actually added to our site yet. We still have to submit it. So anytime you create a trigger or anything within Tag Manager, not only do you create it and save it there, but you have to submit it. And submitting basically means all of the setup that you've done, you're pushing it live, okay? So just think of it that way. Okay, so the last step, we click submit, and basically you want to name this, and this just is so that when you're reviewing stuff later, you can see what changes you did. You could roll back if you end up screwing something up, that kind of thing. So it basically just records anytime that you've made changes and you add it to your site. It's showing the history of what you do. So if there's something that you ever have to adjust, there's a record of what you did. So this is the summary that we created one tag. It's got 5 variables in it and it was added. And that's it. Version 2 is live. So now we can see that we've got it set up. Now, if we wanted to test that this is done, again, we're going to update the page. And then I'm just going to load a preview in incognito. So we're going to get that tracking ID here. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like in analytics here. So now if we're looking at our data and we want to see if it's firing, you could look at real-time data. Now again, I have that thank you page opened, so it is showing it there, and it is showing that I've got 4 people in there. Now I'd have to look in the data here to later make sure that that page fired. I'm going to remove it shortly because these are 2 different client pages, but this is where you would go to see that it's tracking correctly. And that's it. It was that simple. In this video, I showed you how to embed the Google Analytics tracking code to your LeadPages landing page, where to do it in the settings, how to add that code not only by just adding the actual tracking code, but also using Google Tag Manager so that you could add custom variables. Now, what are some other variables you could add? Well, I could, if I wanted to, add conversion tracking. I could add things to know how far someone is scrolling down a given page, if they're clicking specific buttons on the page. I can use Google Tag Manager to help me track all of that kind of activity on the page. But for the purpose of just tracking Google Analytics activity, we've done the basics of that using Tag Manager. Again, I like using Google Tag Manager because it's one place where I can keep all of the other tracking tools and metrics that I want to configure for my website. Whether it is, again, things like, tracking buttons or tracking, how far down someone scrolled at the page, how many times they viewed a video. If I want to track conversions for something, if I want to add the Facebook meta pixel, the LinkedIn pixel, all these other things, I can do it with Google Tag Manager, keep everything all in one place. It makes it easy for me to manage rather than having all these different tracking codes in the head area of a web page. So that, again, 2 ways that you can add the Google Analytics code to your website, how to add it on LeadPages, save it, and then test that it's working. I hope you found this video helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe below so you get notified for any new video that I create. And please feel free to check out some of the other videos I've created. You can click on the links up here to see other playlists. I do have another video that I created which is all about installing the Facebook Metapixel on your LeadPages landing pages. So you can be sure to check that out up here. And at the end of this video, you're going to see some other great videos that you might like. I hope you watch those. If you have any questions about this video, any questions about LeadPages, leave a comment below. I am going to include an affiliate link below so you can check out LeadPages for yourself. It is my favorite platform for creating landing pages. If you're a realtor, if you're doing any sort of marketing and you just want to create a single page landing page, I mean, you could build a small website with it too, but I like to use it for building those landing pages where I want to drive traffic from ads. Maybe I want to collect something on a forum, especially if you're a real estate agent and you don't know how to add to your other site pages, or you don't have the ability to. Creating something with LeadPages is really simple. It's drag and drop. There's so many templates available for you. And it is really an easy way to build a web page in not a lot of time. You don't have to be a coder. So again, check the affiliate link below for a free trial to LeadPages. And again, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love your feedback. Leave me a comment below. Be sure to also check the links in the description of this video. I've got some other things that I think you'd be interested in. And until then, remember, my name is Lowell Brown from Going Social, where we take the complicated out of social media and digital marketing and make things a little more simple and easy for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.